Good morning. It's Thursday the 7th of July. It's about 7:30 in the morning, and I'm in the Shenandoah National Park, which is in Virginia, I think, if I got that wrong. Probably sound a bit of an idiot. I'm not sure how long it is, but I think the park's about a couple of weeks walking. I've been looking forward to it, and most of us have as well, because it's got a reputation for being quite an easy stretch. The terrain is much kinder. There is still a few nasty hills in it, but it does flatten out an awful lot. And I think once we get into Pennsylvania, it's even easier going, although Pennsylvania is renowned for very long sections of rock, which is hard on the feet. Anyway, Shenandoah is better terrain, a lot of places to resupply. It's quite a touristy area. There's a road that's called the Skyline Road, I think. It's apparently a fantastic drive. We keep crossing it. So you get a lot of tourists up here on the road, and you get a lot of little places to stop and eat, like little cafes and places to stock up with food. So, coupled with the easier terrain, and the availability of food, which means we have to carry less, which means we've got less weight, which means we can go further, get less tired, you know the story. And it's also been a lot cooler the last 5 or 6 days. In fact, it's been pretty cold. During the day it's been about 15 degrees C, which I think is kind of like the 50s Fahrenheit, and at night it's probably dropping down to about 8, I should think, something like that. So not cold as such, but certainly a little bit chilly. Let me just see if I can turn the camera around, and no, I can't turn the camera around. Yes, I can. I'll turn the whole thing around so you can kind of see where I'm going. So everything's pretty good. I'm about in fact I'm just coming up to mile 900 out of 2,180, something like that. Feeling very good. And Harper's Ferry, a place called Harper's Ferry, which is apparently a beautiful little trail town. The trail goes pretty near it. In fact, it might even go through it. And it's considered the halfway town. It's not the halfway point. The halfway point's a little bit further on. I think it's situated about 1,017 miles, something like that. So I've got, give or take, probably about 120 miles, which I'm going to try and crack out. Well, I'm going to try and do it in 4 days. I'm going to try and do 4 30-mile days, take advantage of the cooler weather and the terrain, and get into Harper's Ferry around about the 12th of June, but intended to do it on the 14th. But I'm going to try and put in some good days and get there early, which means I've done the first half in about 2.5 months. Which is good news, because I originally planned 6 months for the whole hike, which is quite a long time to do the Appalachian Trail. Most people do it in around 5, some people do it in 4, but generally they're about sort of the 5 to 6 month mark. So 6 was quite a generous allowance of time to do it. So if I get there in 2.5 months, it should in theory put me on for a 5-month hike, but bearing in mind the first 2 weeks, I was only doing sort of 10-mile days and then 15-mile days to break the feet in gently. I should be doing the second half a lot quicker. So possibly on, well, I should think certainly on for an August finish, and it might even creep into July, but that is pushing it a little bit. But I'm feeling good. The legs the last week have felt really good, really solid. Few aches and twinges are all fine, the feet are fine, mentally I'm fine. I've had a little bit of rain which gets you down, but you just kind of get used to it, really. And I'm also on a bit of a garlic fest. I've had a few mosquitoes out now, the weather's warmed up a bit, and if there's mosquitoes about, it's just it's not unbearable. You deal with it the same way you deal with the sun and the cold, but I get bitten pretty bad by mosquitoes. They just love me. And having sorted out my feet problems, and so far, touch wood, have not had any blisters, I'm now on a mission to sort out my other big gripe, which is the insects. So I've heard a few times about garlic being used as, I guess, a repellent, really. It gets into your bloodstream, mosquitoes don't like it, and most of the other insects, and they generally don't bite you. But I was talking to, I think it was a guy called Thirsty a couple of weeks ago, and he said you've got to get it in your system, and it's got to like build up. So I've been taking it probably about a couple of weeks, I suppose, something like that. And when I say taking it, I'm talking about raw garlic. I mean, I put 2 or 3 big cloves in my evening meal, so it's kind of cooked. Lunchtime, I chop up a clove and put it in between 2 slices of bread. So, as you can imagine, I'm probably not the most popular company at the moment, but there is a few other people trying it as well. And the big problem is breakfast. I mean, I love I like garlic. I can eat it till the cows come home. But the first time I tried it in the morning, I thought, well, I won't try it on an empty stomach because it is pretty strong stuff. So I had a banana, and of course the obligatory cup of coffee, which we all need in the morning. And I thought, well, that'll line the stomach. And so I popped a raw garlic clove in my mouth, just chewing away at it, and it is hard work, really hard work. It's obviously a very strong taste. Makes you gag a bit, which is why at lunch I sort of chop it up and put it in between bread. It kind of softens the blow. But anyway, I was chewing this thing for a minute or so, mashing it up, swigged it down with some water, and it hit my stomach, and I just started gagging. I was going to be sick. And I'm never sick unless I've drunk a few beers. But anyway, this thing hit the stomach, and I'm bent over, and I'm going to be sick. Somehow I managed to keep it down. So lesson learnt. Fozzie's tip of the week is don't eat raw garlic for breakfast. It's not good. At least line your stomach first. What else have I got to tell you? Still on my first pair of boots, the Innovates, which I brought out with me, which are these jobbies here. As you can see, they're still going strong, although they have started splitting just at the side here, but that's not a huge issue. So it's only the second pair of boots I've ever had, which is due to do 1,000 miles. In fact, they've done over 1,000 miles because they were broken in at home. They maybe had 100 miles on them already. I did pick up a pair of Brooks, which are kind of like trail running shoes. And I've posted them up to Harper's Ferry because I've still got a little bit of life in this. But I'm hoping to get this repaired. If I can get the holes repaired, I might get another couple of 100 miles out of them, and I might actually do the whole trail on 2 pairs of shoes. But I think it's probably going to be 3s. Trail runners, you can only normally get about 400 miles out or so. I'm going to have to get another pair at some point. Been walking with various people, a guy called Juggles, who, believe it or not, was world champion juggler when he was 14. I think he's now about 26. If you can check out his website, it's pretty cool. It's Chris Chiappini, chrischiappini.com. I think it's 2 P's, but if you Google it, you'll probably find it. He's a pretty good guy. Bush Goggles I've been walking with for a while. He's pretty funny. If I walk with him, we normally get some good mileage in because there's kind of a bit of a competition going. He walks pretty fast, so I kind of try and keep up with him, and consequently when I'm in front I feel I need to walk fast to keep up to his pace, and then he says I'm walking too fast. But anyway, we get some good miles in. You can probably hear the road. I'm just coming up to the Blue Ridge Parkway. No, it's not, it's a blooming highway. So I'm going to sign off because we're going to get some traffic noise. Next update in a couple of weeks, I expect. I'll post this up at Harper's Ferry, so you'll probably get it around the 15th, I suppose, something like that. So it'll be about 7 days old, but there you go. But everything's good. By the way, you're probably looking at this on YouTube, but all my videos are also on keithfoskett.com. That's Keith, K-E-I-T-H. The surname's F-O-S-K-E-T-T. If you go to that website, there's a lot more photos, there's text, all the videos, stuff on my PCT walk, my El Camino walk in Spain a few years ago. So take a look, drop me an email if you like.
What's happening?
That is Bush Goggles, if I can get him in the frame. I can't get him in the frame. You in the frame there? Yeah, there he is. That's Bush Goggles.
Howdy, howdy.
He's a cheeky little fucker.
Yeah, did you hear me singing coming along there?
I should bleep that word out really, but I don't suppose anybody minds.
Dude, I've been coming up with songs all morning, it's been great.